Welcome to LA, honey. This is our ride for the week, Cadillac Escalade.
With a naturally aspirated V8 under the hood. Right?
Wow, indeed, you are correct. We got the welcome sequence. Look at the lighting.
We had one of these, didn't we?
We had the pre-refresh. So this one's been refreshed. It actually got refreshed a little bit ago, but we haven't spent time with one. We had the Escalade IQ, the electric one.
I like the spec. Wow, this looks really nice, actually. Whoa. Yeah, I really like this spec. Look at
Angel
this.
likes light-colored interiors. You like the wood trim?
Yeah, that looks
And the giant
very...
screen.
Maybe we should buy this for my next daily. Is this a fridge?
This thing is massive, honey.
How do you open this? Oh, right here.
No fridge on this
no
one.
Fridge? Do you think this should be our next daily or my next daily?
Do you need an Escalade? Look at the screen, though. This and that Lincoln Navigator Black Label are direct competitors, so gather your thoughts because I will need to ask you your opinion on how you feel.
Does this have any self-assistance, like driving capabilities?
This one is Super Cruise equipped, which is going to be handy because we are going to hit LA traffic. We have been taking some wild detours to avoid traffic, as usual, but downtown LA over there. 50 minutes to our hotel, both very hungry. But the Escalade has been obviously very nice so far. I got my cooled seats going, massage seat, listening to some music on the nice AKG sound system. Other than being hungry, do you have any initial thoughts on the Escalade Platinum?
Not really. I mean, it's obviously a very nice car. I feel like with every single press car, I'm just envisioning that this could be the new daily driver for me when we ultimately trade in the Porsche Macan. So it is a very nice car.
Angel is just
very comfortable.
Angel just mentally crushed. Oh, you like the air suspension?
Yeah, very nice.
It's definitely comfy.
I only open my door on camera.
That's not true. I don't even need to open your door. I can just press a button and the door opens for me and you. Power doors. Also, this radiant red tint coat is looking quite fantastic. Wait till you see it under the sun. And then on the driver's side, you can set it to where you hit the brake and the door closes. Oh, it's kind of warm in here. Wow, look at the mountains. Quite a view. We're staying up in Pasadena area, Pasadena Arcadia. At the how do you pronounce it? The hotel name, honey?
The hotel name?
Yes.
Le Meridian.
No. You said it different.
Oh, like with my fake French
Your
accent?
fake French accent? Le Meridian.
Le Meridian, Arcadia, Pasadena.
And then we've lost all of our French viewers. We did a workout this morning, ate some breakfast, and now we are heading out to the Huntington, which is
the Huntington Museum. It's like a botanical garden / art museum.
Something like that, so it should be cool. Yes. We're gonna go be cultured as we cruise along in the Escalade.
Escalade.
Escalade? Is that the name?
Yes.
The Cadillac Escalade?
Yeah.
Gosh.
When she said
yeah. This is why there's timed like reservation tickets and stuff. My goodness. That was so cool, but also so hot. We walked like 3 miles through the amazing botanical gardens. Very nice experience, and then finished off with affogato.
Yeah, it was way too sweaty, but this made it a lot better.
We woke up at 5:40 a.m.
Yeah.
for a 6:30 class.
It was your idea.
No, it wasn't. But we survived. Now back into the Escalade, which I am a big fan of this color. Do you like this color?
I do like this color. It matches my nails.
Oh, it does. Wait.
Right?
Was that on purpose? Did you know we're going to have a radiant red tint coat Escalade?
No.
That actually matches very closely. Not planned at all. And power opening doors have us so spoiled. From outside, you just pull that little tab and the power closes. It's very convenient. We were driving family around yesterday, my in-laws and my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, so I could just like pull up and swipe a couple times on the screen and the doors will open. If it senses you're too close, I think like right there I was too close, it will not open. It has a sensor. It won't open into a wall or a door. And the little swipey controls. This is fun. What else has this? The BMW i7, the 7 Series, has the power opening doors too, and the Genesis G90, power closing. I don't think those are open. Another beautiful sunny day in Southern California, out in the Escalade. We're running low on gas. We're only 76 miles to empty. This might not be the V, but a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 is still not particularly fuel efficient, given the size and weight of this thing. We're probably doing like, I don't know, 14 mpg or something, and it's got a big fuel tank, so, and California gas is expensive, so obviously, although you buy one of these things, you don't care about the cost of gas, right? It's a $130,000 luxury SUV, and compared to the V, it is a fuel sipper. And the V, I think I averaged like 9 mpg over the week that I had it. It was hilariously bad, but worth it.
What's the difference between this one and the V?
The V has a supercharged V8.
Oh.
and it makes 682 horsepower, and it sounds like the world is ending. It is so epic.
So how much horsepower is this?
This one has 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, which brings up a really good point. The Navigator Black Label does feel substantially quicker. This is 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, which is good, but the EcoBoost V6 and the Navigator Black Label is 440 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. So it is substantially quicker feeling. Now, it doesn't sound like a V8, it doesn't feel like a V8. A lot of people just like V8s, but in practicality, just actual like usability and stuff like that, the Navigator Black Label engine does have an edge. So here's a funny quirk, which makes sense because the car turns off when you open the driver's door, but you have to make sure you get your passenger door first, because as soon as you swipe to open your driver door, the screen turns off. So if you forget to get your passenger's door and then you open yours, the screen turns off, and then you got to do it manually, which is beneath us.
Yes,
Beneath us.
Our arms don't work.
Eventually, they just atrophy when you have an Escalade because the doors open and close themselves for you. I like how the little indent right there is in the shape of the Cadillac shield. It has been a couple of very busy days here in Southern California with family, also quite hot and sunny, but I took some time to escape up into the mountains. We're in the Angeles Forest area to film the Escalade a bit. So let's talk about the powertrain, and I'll take you on a tour of the exterior design, some of the slight changes they made with the refresh, and the interior, and get a bit more in depth with some of the features. Let's talk about the powertrain. So the Escalade still has a naturally aspirated V8, a 6.2 liter V8 that makes 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. And having a V8 option is fantastic. It sounds nice, it feels nice, and I know a lot of buyers in this segment care a lot about having 8 cylinders under the hood. But here's the thing, one of the primary competitors to the Escalade, the Lincoln Navigator, no longer has a V8. It is EcoBoost V6 only, a twin-turbo V6 that pretty handily beats this V8, both on paper and on tarmac. So this one is 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. That EcoBoost Navigator is 440 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque, and you can feel it off the line, passing, merging. It is substantially quicker. That torque number is pretty impressive. But if you need more power and performance, Cadillac has you covered. You can get yourself an Escalade V with an absolutely ridiculous supercharged V8 under the hood, making nearly 700 horsepower. It is obviously much more expensive, much more thirsty, but much more epic. It is just so American. Let's take our massive supercharged V8 and shove it under the hood of our enormous luxury SUV, and they're pretty epic. I know it's very, very expensive, but I always have so much fun in the Escalade V, and they're selling, right? The demand is absolutely there for that very, very expensive flagship Escalade. But anyways, back to this one here specifically. Something I am sad about is there's no more diesel powertrain available. The baby Duramax, the take rate just wasn't there. Maybe buyers, America has a complicated relationship with diesel powertrains. They haven't been as popular in recent times for sure. But maybe buyers of vehicles like this just don't care about how much fuel costs and what kind of MPGs they're getting. It is a very, very expensive SUV, but the diesel powertrain, it was so smooth and torquey, and I was getting very impressive fuel economy. The road trip range, freeway driving was seriously impressive. So a little bit sad there's no more baby Duramax in the Escalade, but that powertrain lives on in other GM family trucks and SUVs. And then of course we have the all-electric version, the Escalade IQ. Now it delivers the Escalade experience in a different format with the EV powertrain. It's actually not really related to this thing at all. It's more closely related to a GMC Hummer EV, Sierra EV, the Silverado EV. It's on that Ultium EV platform, but it's a different flavor of Escalade that you can buy now. So no V6, no twin-turbo V6, no plug-in hybrid, no hybridization whatsoever for the Escalade. It's either this V8, the supercharged V8, or you get the electric version. Now, I'm very curious to see when, I don't think it's an if, I think it's a matter of when, the new engine family, the LS6, right, that they debuted on the Corvette Grand Sport and the Stingray, that engine family is making its way into the trucks and SUVs. So the 6.7 liter V8, more horsepower, more sound, that should make it into a regular Escalade. So that'll be pretty cool. And so Silverados, Tahoes, pretty much the whole lineup, right, as we would expect. So eventually we'll get that new family because they are still giving us V8s, which thumbs thumbs up, right? We're happy about that. Let's see, anything else? 10-speed automatic transmission. You can get a 4-wheel drive like this one. We also have some pretty cool other like chassis tech we'll talk about in a moment when we're driving it, but let's take you on a tour on the outside and inside now. We have a new front fascia with some new styling, new lighting design, which actually reminds me of a squinting version of the pre-refresh Escalade, but we still have the vertical blade DRL here and these individual little headlight segments, and the DRL actually cuts through the body color segment here and into this little slit up here. Now this one is a Sport Platinum, so all the trim is blacked out from the entire grille, all the accents, no chrome at all on this Escalade. These are 22-inch wheels, which actually look kind of small, which is just, I mean, says how big these things are now. Don't worry, if 22s are too small, you can now get 24-inch wheels on an Escalade. This is also on air suspension, so adjustable height. We're currently in the lowest entry exit ride height, but you can raise it all the way up to maximum if you need a little bit more ground clearance. We've got the deployable side steps and this paint. Radiant red tint coat. It is pretty spectacular. I am a big fan of this paint. Now, it's one of the more expensive paint options on the Escalade. I think it's like $1,300 or $1,500, but I think it is definitely worth it. This is also the regular length version. You can do the extended length if you need more space for cargo and passengers. And then in back, we still have the big vertical tail lights. You press on the Cadillac logo to open the trunk. You get the Escalade lettering right there. And then over here, it says 600. Now, I thought they were moving away from this numbering. The intent of it was to give some sort of hierarchy to the powertrains because, like with the Escalade, there were a lot of mixed powertrain options. You could have either this gas V8, you could have the diesel at one point, there's electric ones, there's a V, and the number refers to the Newton meters of torque rounded to the nearest 100. But the problem is most Americans don't know what a Newton meter is. Honestly, most of them probably don't know what torque means, but it was essentially trying to assign a number. And I know some of the EV said E4 for all-wheel drive, and I think it just confused the heck out of people. But it was their attempt to give some sort of like nomenclature for the hierarchy. And I believe they're moving away from this type of thing now, because to most people, probably just like random numbers on the back. Like I think the Escalade IQ is what, 1000 E4 on the back. And it just people were like, what does that mean, right? I know styling is very subjective, but personally, I think the Escalade looks cooler than the Lincoln Navigator. Something about the sharper creases and lines looks a bit more bold and sleek, although calling anything this big sleek doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. I've also grown to like the refresh quite a bit. Now, if you're ordering an Escalade, please get a cool color like this red or the blue. There are just too many boring black, white, gray, silver ones out there. This definitely stands out. And let's take a proper look at the interior. Let me put this thing back into park. So one of the big highlights, the first thing you'll notice is the massive 55-inch pillar-to-pillar display screen. It's subtly curved and it merges your digital cluster here, your infotainment screen. These two are actually seamless, and then there's a little bit of a border and you get your passenger display screen, which says Escalade right now. Nobody here, but if let's see, wake it up, you've got a bunch of different entertainment options, right? YouTube, Disney, and your streaming stuff, but you can also check vehicle status. So we've got your speedometer, your fuel range, and your trip information, so your passenger can monitor how fast you're going, yes, and you can also connect headphones. Now, you might be like, well, that's got to be a distraction, right? Well, if your passenger is sitting here watching YouTube videos, that cannot be safe. Don't worry, when you're actually driving, it like has some sort of like polarization filter. Legit, when you're sitting here in the driver's seat, you can't see. You look over there and it's just like a dark screen, but when you're sitting there, you can see it. There's that kind of tech has been in a couple different vehicles, but it's obviously a safety consideration here with a passenger screen. Now, we can sit here and argue all day long, is this too much screen? The answer is it is a lot of screen, and just a lot of OEMs are moving this way, right? This integration, I think, it's a bit better. It's in between Lincoln, which has the big screen all the way forward, right? The dash is like in between the screen all the way out to the edge, and Mercedes, which is putting just a TV in your face, right? Mercedes Hyperscreen, I think, is just, that's too much. I'm not a fan of that at all. Lincoln, I think, does a good job with it. The new BMW screen, I think, is really nice too, because it's further away, which keeps your eyes up, right? It's right below the windshield. This one here, it's still pretty much in your face, and then we have another touchscreen down here, but I've grown to like it. Personal preference, I'll still go with the Lincoln display setup. We've got wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, of course. This is a built-in native Google system, and it works well, right? Everything here works totally fine. You can still have CarPlay, don't worry, although GM, I think, is supposed to be moving away. I know the EVs don't have CarPlay anymore, but that's a big deal too for a lot of people. Now we've got a digital rearview mirror, so more screen there. That I like, because in an SUV, let's just say you've got people and cargo back here and you can't see out that rear window. This, not a problem. You just look straight back there, you're fine. Or straight here, you're fine, right? And then at night, when people behind you have their high beams on, this also helps eliminate glare. So that's really nice. And then we have a lower touchscreen here. This actually has a lot of different controls and functions. So obviously climate is one of the default ones. You can do your front and rear climate. If I go here, that's seat control. So we've got heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel for both driver and passenger. I can also turn on my heated seats for my second row passengers if I want. And then we have massage, some pretty good massage seats. We've got, let's see, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different options here for both the front seats. Now, if you want massage seats in the second row, there is like an executive second row package which adds cooled seats and the massage for second row. You can also fiddle with your position memory stuff here. So that's the seat controls. You're changing where airflow is. Where are the other, here we go, to the doors. So this is how you interface with power opening the doors, right? This might, to some people, you might be like, that's a gimmick. Power opening and closing doors, it's a gimmick. I have used it so much. Like, we've been transporting people all week, family, in the second row, father-in-law, mother-in-law, cousins, everything back, people back there, right? I pull up to a hotel to pick people up or to lunch or dinner, whatever, and I'm immediately just swipe, 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 and we're just opening up doors, right? And my passengers have also gotten very comfortable and used to it. They have learned to just hop in and pull up on the door handle, or when they're leaving, they pull the door handle when it closes, right? So people have gotten very much used to the power doors. It is really, really cool. It is definitely very, very nifty. And if you don't want it, if you don't like your power doors, you can simply disable it, right? So if you go here, you can go to full manual. Now, I will say, when you are in manual, because there's still obviously a motor and stuff, they're actually pretty heavy. You can feel like the almost like resistance when you're opening and closing it. And if you don't want it to open all the way, I have it set the maximum opening. You can do standard or slight opening, and they also have sensors. If you, sometimes you notice if you're standing like on this side of the door and you go to open it, it'll stop. It won't hit you. It won't hit cars. It won't hit walls because it has sensors in it. Usually errs on the side of caution, right? It'll open very, very little. It's not just going to overswing into a wall or something. That's something they have to check. Now, again, I've only had this thing for a week, and I don't think it's going to hit a wall, right? But anyways, I really, really like the power opening and closing doors. What else has it? Genesis G90 has like the power closing doors. I think BMW has it with the i7, I remember. And I thought like S-Class also has it. It's just one of these new like luxury feature things, but I legit use the power opening, closing doors all the time. Literally, we grab the car from the hotel, I walk up, I pinch the door handle on the back. I am park, yep, I'm in park. I pinch the door handle in the back. This is literally what I do every time I get up to the car, right? So let's just say I've got my backpack and I want to put it in the back. I just come up, I do this, power opens, I drop my backpack here, pull this up here, walk away, come up here, pull this, open, get in, put my foot on the brake, and the door closes itself, and you're ready to go, right? I need to get Angel. Angel will push the door or like pinch the door handle, opens up for her. We hop in. I go whoop, swipe, close. Like it's really, really nice, and it's actually worked fantastically. When I first saw a new Escalade refresh, they were actually like still trying to figure out the door stuff, but now it's like it works great. I actually really, really like it. All right, I do have a complaint. No car of this price point should squeak and creak as much as it does. Right here, this trim piece just squeaks and creaks, and because when I'm driving, I put my knee here sometimes, and like it makes way too much noise. This kind of plasticky looking wood trim, not a fan. Even sometimes like that, just resting my hand here to go fiddle with the infotainment screen when I'm playing around the CarPlay, there was too much creaking and squeaking, and it happens even when you're going over rougher road. Like, I'm not too thrilled with that, and I don't remember previous Escalades having that amount of squeaking and creaking, just like plasticky noises. And that's actually one of the really disappointing parts I've found this week. Everything else I really, really like, but that part I have not been very impressed, and it's actually started to bother me a lot. That's not okay. Like, I don't I don't want to hear that much squeaking. We've got the captain's chairs here. And like I mentioned, you can do a more executive second row if you want. Go ahead and close that door too. We have some TV screens back here. Again, you can run your various media, YouTube, streaming apps, and so forth with the headphones. Actually, my family member's using it. My father-in-law was watching a World Cup game on this screen, and he was definitely enjoying it as I was chauffeuring everybody around. Seats back here are just heated, some cup holders, and because the captain's chairs makes getting into the third row pretty easy, and we've been transporting up to, I think we had 6 people at one point here, and it's been very, very handy, which is of course why people buy Escalades, because they need to move a lot of people, right? If you don't need to move this many people, it's a little bit overkill, but it absolutely came in handy and definitely just much more spacious and usable than other SUVs that are a segment down that might still be 3-row, but the third row is for children or adults with very short legs or something like that. We actually had full-size adults here, so it was definitely very handy. All right, we are heading down the mountain now, so I'll probably be doing mostly coasting on the way down, whereas on the way up I was using the V8 a bit more, which definitely sounds good, makes solid power and torque, but like I mentioned, the Navigator definitely, that torque number, an additional 50 pound-feet of torque, 510, that EcoBoost V6 is a pretty big difference for sure. Now, dynamically speaking though, overall, the Escalade is superior to the Lincoln Navigator. These are all body-on-frame, big truck SUVs, right? So, like, they're not, this might be the Platinum Sport Platinum, but it's not, like, sporty. It's honestly pretty ridiculous how good the Escalade V is, given what they're starting with, right? But this one here, Sport is the persona, right? The personality with the blacked-out trim and everything. But, dynamically speaking, these are pretty good for what it is. Now, I attribute that to air suspension and magnetic ride. Once you get up to these top tier trims here, you get both. So air suspension, not only is it adjustable height, right, but it smooths things out and you ride a bit more comfortably. The Lincoln has CDC continuous damping control, continuously controlled dampers. It's got like fancy active dampers, right, but it's still not quite the same level. So it's not as floaty. The Escalade does a better job of like the wafting experience, right, with the air suspension. And magnetic ride, the response to the dampers is just faster. It's more advanced. Magnetic ride is just amazing. Let me go into sport mode. We have Tour, Sport, Off-Road, Tow Haul in my mode. And sport mode definitely immediately firms up the steering. It gets a little bit weightier, but much more direct feeling. And then body control's a bit better. And the damping control actually is pretty dang good. I think my acceleration meter is broken, because last time I was out here, like 2 weeks ago, I was in a ZR1, and if I just did what I did in the ZR1, I would have been tripling speed limits. But you heard that, right? It sounds good. Makes good V8 noises. And this is just right out of the box. The Escalade V is next level loud, but I'm pretty sure you can get an exhaust for these things, right? This 6.2 V8 is ubiquitous across the GM SUV truck lineup, but the LS6, I'm excited for that. Big displacement, 6.7 liter V8. Okay, BMW. But the body control, the steering feel, dynamically this is better than the Lincoln Navigator in my opinion. I'd say it beats out the Infiniti QX80, definitely the Lexus LX. There aren't that many big body-on-frame SUVs in this segment anymore, because some of them have gone unibody. The Germans are unibody, so they will definitely dynamically be superior. Like a GLS 580 even would probably feel much more nimble, an X7 driving up here, but it's not. That's kind of apples and oranges comparison, or maybe apples and watermelon. I don't know. That analogy probably fell flat. But the squeaking, creaking, yeah, just right there, my knee. And it's like I wasn't like trying to press on it. I wasn't poking around trying to find squeaks and rattles. Just all the time, just normal driving. I just happened to rest my knee right there. And like going over bumps and uneven pavement and just regular driving, I'd hear so much creaking, which I'm disappointed about. Same thing here, right there. Like I literally just put my hand on this, right? And it made a creaking noise. And I'm like, that's not acceptable. At this price point, anything I touch should just feel solid. It should feel like it's just a massive block of stone. That's my 2 cents. I can pass you, Civic. You are driving very slowly. Bye-bye. right? So that to me is not okay. I think the Lincoln Navigator interior is actually a leg up now, especially Black Label. Once you go up to the Black Label, the materials and the solidity of it is one step up. The tech, I'd say it's like trade-offs between the two. I like the screen more in the Navigator. I actually really love the doors on this thing. And then I think styling-wise, this one's a bit sharper, a little more distinctive. And the dynamics are definitely superior here. But then the Navigator off that EcoBoost V6, like I mentioned a couple times now, is way torquier. So it's really like a bunch of trade-offs. And it's cool, right? They're very competitive. Navigator still, Escalade still kind of owns the segment. Jeep Grand Wagoneer is still trying to poke its head in there too. I haven't driven the refresh Jeep Grand Wagoneer. I need to find some time to schedule one of those to see what it's like, because they've dropped the price on that a lot, which that ends up becoming the serious value argument. So yeah, those are some thoughts on what it's been like to live with this thing so far. It's been nice this week in LA. It's literally the perfect SUV for everything except for parking. Some of the parking structures have been a little bit tight and just been like, what about that space? I'm like, honey, we're not going to fit. That is like a space for a Toyota Corolla. We are not going to be able to cram into that space right there. Anything else? It's thirsty. That's kind of a given. Very expensive to fuel these things. But again, if you're buying a $130,000 luxury SUV, I do not want to hear you complaining about the cost of gasoline. Time to head to the airport to fly back home to Michigan. So let's wrap up final thoughts on living with the 2026 Cadillac Escalade Platinum Sport Platinum. I think they like changed and ordered the name, and I don't remember which one is which, but it's the Sporty Platinum. What do you think? Do you like this?
I do like it. It is the ultimate family car.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate luxury family car.
The ultimate family car would be the V, Escalade V.
Oh,
because
okay.
it's this with more horsepower and noise.
Well, I mean, sure. I don't really think that's necessary, but you know, whatever floats your boat.
Yes, and this is a little bit of a boat. It floats. No, but I like a lot of things about the Escalade. Dynamically, I think it's pretty dang good with air suspension and magnetic ride. The V8 sounds good. We've got lots of really, really nice tech. Power opening and closing doors might be my new like favorite gadget, toy, feature thing in cars to play around. And we actually used it, right? Mm-hmm. Our family got used to it, opening and closing the doors just by pressing it, pulling up on the handle. They got very accustomed. And it's always funny people's first reaction when they approach the car and like the door just is already open, like opening for them, like whoa, right? So I like it.
I mean, when my sister first got into the car, she was saying how it felt like she was on an airplane because of the
captain's chairs,
the captain's
and the TVs
chairs and like the iPad touchscreen,
yeah,
which was really cool. And my dad was watching the
FIFA
game.
He was having a good time back there. He was watching on his phone, and then our my brother-in-law was like, why don't we just try to sign in to like whatever streaming account, and he got it to work, and the World Cup was on the TV, so that was fun. There's an even fancier second row package. You can do like an executive with like tray tables and stuff like that.
Okay.
This one doesn't have it, but they are available even more like first class airline feeling seats.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say that would be reminiscent of flying first class.
Yes. Let's see what else. Super Cruise, fantastic as usual. Heading into downtown LA a couple times. We did a lot of late night escape games this week, and Super Cruise was nice on the freeway. The NVH team needs to spend a little bit more time, I think, fiddling with a couple things. I got really annoyed with all like the creaking. That to me is not okay on a $130,000 vehicle.
Valid.
Too much like just plasticky creaking sounds, right? So sometimes I felt like there was a mouse trapped in the center console. I'm like, what's going on down there? So that to me is not okay. The Lincoln didn't do that to the same. Except Lincoln still had a couple. The seat was making a squeaky noise at one point in the Navigator Black Label we had. But I would just like to see that improved across the board. I think it looks really nice. Fantastic paint. Comfortable with air suspension. I mean, it's been the perfect thing for us to transport around between us two up to 6 people, 6 full adults, all around the Southern California area this week. It's been good. It's been good. Escalade. You pick. Now you've driven QX80 Autograph Infinity, the blue one.
Yeah.
Lincoln Navigator Black Label, the not blue one, that's white. And then, I guess you didn't get to drive this one that much. You rode around in a bunch though, the Escalade. Which one? Let's just say like we have a family, we've got 2 kids. Which one would you want to have?
Ooh, is this bigger than the Lincoln Navigator?
Same size, essentially.
Same size, right?
Size, yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. I don't know. I really like the air suspension on this one.
Yeah.
It
it's a little floatier.
Feels very floaty.
Yeah.
I feel like the Navigator didn't have that, right?
CDC on that, continuous damping control.
I do like the interior of the Navigator, but this is very similar in terms of having like the widescreen here. So I don't know. I'm a little conflicted. I'm not sure.
Pick right now.
I don't know. Probably the Navigator.
Okay.
I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. Like,
All
there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, well, that's what you feel. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out some of my content with the Escalade V if you want to see this, but with a supercharged V8. Also, we did my wife reviews the Navigator Black Label and the QX80 Autograph. We need to find some time back home with one of these so you can do your review of an Escalade. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.